it's Raging Rancor. I thought I'd pop in with a quick review for Obi-Wan Kenobi, the Star Wars Disney show. I'm going to review the first 3 episodes real briefly. I will be digging into some spoilers, so spoiler warning. And before I get too far into it, please hit like, please subscribe, share on social media, and as I'm going through it, please comment below and let me know what you think. Have you seen the episodes? How are you liking the show so far? Okay, so to dive into it really quickly, we've got Obi-Wan Kenobi. He is down and out on Tatooine. As it makes perfect sense that he would be down and out. He's very depressed. It's very grim, and it's kind of like Wolverine and the final Wolverine movie with Hugh Jackman. And I thought that was tonally appropriate. Now, Star Wars is all about fun and action and color and heroism. So it is interesting to see a take on it that's not that colorful and not that heroic. In fact, Obi-Wan Kenobi is actively running away from conflict and not helping people when he could be helping. So, that's interesting. That is not very Star Warsy, honestly. But I guess it's okay to explore, different takes on this. And it makes sense for his character to be in that state at the time. And of course, it provides a much better reversal of his character and an arc for him when he is prompted to go on a mission and to have some action. And thank God we get off Tatooine. Oh, I was so worried that there was going to be another series set on Tatooine. I mean, there's a reason Luke is so happy to get off Tatooine in the first movie. It's the ass end of nowhere. If there's a bright center to the universe, that's the place it's farthest from, and yet we spend all our time there. So so it's good. Sorry, Leia. It's good that she gets kidnapped, and Obi-Wan is forced to go on an adventure. Thank goodness. Now about Leia. I don't like her characterization. I don't think they're doing a good job with Leia. She comes off as a cartoon character. She's sassy, running away from goons, bumbling goons, knocking each other's heads over in the forest, basically, as they're trying to recapture her. And just basically being very stupid, silly goons, like Three Stooges level goons, chasing this little kid. So I didn't think that was realistic. It didn't feel like it was in the same TV show as the Obi-Wan scenes, which again were grim and dour, and it's good to have a juxtaposition, but it needs to feel like it's in the same universe, in the same show. The bumbling goons and the sassy Leia did not feel like they were in the same show as Obi-Wan Kenobi. Compare that again to Wolverine and the girl from Wolverine. I forget her name, X23 or whatever it was. She felt like she was in the same world as Wolverine. So so you can do better, Disney. And then of course there's Reva, who is our villain for this series. Although I kind of suspect she's going to turn out to be a good guy or something. I don't know. But she is a flat and uninteresting character. There's a lot of, heated talk about Reva, and Disney is calling people that don't like her a racist. Those same people love Mace Windu and Lando Calrissian. So you're full of shit, Disney. But whatever. Yeah, so Reva is a flat and uninteresting villain that does stupid things and kills the Grand Inquisitor, which violates canon, unless he has a brother that takes over the role. Because in Rebels, we have the Grand Inquisitor that looks basically like that. But I'm thinking they're going to revive him in a post-credit sequence, like they did Peacemaker, or they are going to, maybe he has a brother that steps into the role at the end of the show. So I don't think they're going to violate canon, especially with Dave Filoni as big a part as he is in the Star Wars Disney TV shows. So, it'll be interesting to see how they do that, but I don't really think that's going to be a canon violation. Although I wish they would. I wish this was a canon violation and we were setting up a new timeline where the freaking sequels did not exist. So, yeah, if they were doing that, I would be all for it. You can kill the Grand Inquisitor all day long if the sequels don't exist. But I don't think that's what's happening. Anyway, so the show goes on. We have a lame Reva who, in the third episode, is finally getting a small amount of nuance. Unfortunately, it's coming at the expense of Darth Vader, who is very creaky. They don't do a good job with Darth in this third episode. They introduce him at the end of the second episode, and that's when Obi-Wan learns that Anakin survived, and apparently it's among the Inquisitors at least, it's common knowledge that Darth Vader is Anakin Skywalker. I kind of thought his identity would be a little more secret, honestly. Luke Skywalker is shocked to find out that Darth Vader is Anakin Skywalker in Empire Strikes Back. So I think his identity is more or less a secret. I suppose you could say that those closest to him, the Inquisitors, might know his real identity. So maybe I can buy that, but I do think that's a weakness. And there are various other weaknesses in the show, especially canon continuity, like killing the Inquisitor. I do think that's going to be resolved. And now we have in episode 3 an underground railroad of Jedi, which, kind of makes sense in universe that there would be people helping out the Jedi. I can totally see that. And it's nice that Quinlan Vos is still around. I really enjoy Quinlan Vos, especially when he's teamed up with Villy, the demon character. I forget what his race is called, but he looks like a demon, and he talks like a Russian, and he's a very colorful criminal character in these Star Wars comics. And I would love to see a TV show that's the adventures of Villy, and Quinlan Vos. Quinlan Vos is a great straight man for the colorful, funny Villy. So, anyways, I'm glad that Quinlan is still around. I don't think it's going to go well for the Jedi in the Underground Railroad. I think that the Inquisitors are going to get onto them and kill them all, or maybe it's been a trap all along, and they're being led into this Underground Railroad, but they're really actually being killed. Because when Luke comes along, there's no Jedi. I mean, he's pretty much it. And if he's not it, if there are a bunch of Jedi running around at the time of Luke, 10 years after this TV series, that's going to be a real weakness that they have just introduced to the original trilogy. So I hope that's not the case. And, the more TV shows and video games and movies they set during this time, the more chances they are going to have to introduce problems like that. Because, like in the Fallen Order video game, which I really like, again, we've got more Jedi they have introduced that are bouncing around in this timeline. So unless they die off in the next game or so, it's going to be really weird. And I like those characters. I don't want them to die off. Maybe they can be transported into the future or get frozen in carbonite and whatever. But, they are introducing a lot of weaknesses into continuity that I don't think they should. But whatever, that is the problem with putting a lot of stuff in this timeline. But they are kind of stuck with that. Either in this timeline or right after Return of the Jedi, because nobody likes the sequels. I mean, very few people like the sequels. They suck, they're horrible, they really destroy Star Wars itself. Star Wars is famous for perfecting the heroic journey. That hero is Luke Skywalker. It is famous for being the most heroic and portraying heroism the best that's ever been done. And they ruined that in the sequels. They ruin Luke Skywalker. They ruin the hero with a capital H that is Star Wars. So the sequels need to be decanonized. At the very least, they need to retcon it so that there is a timeline where the sequels don't take place. And I was really hoping they were setting that up in The Mandalorian, but the more it goes on, the more it seems like they are leaning into the sequels. In The Mandalorian, we see Luke Skywalker building the exact same temple that gets destroyed in the freaking sequels. So they are veering into that, not veering away from it. So, I'm hoping in Ahsoka they do the whole time travel thing, even though Dave Filoni has said that is not what's going to happen, and that's not the way the time travel thing works. So, anyway, Obi-Wan Kenobi, kind of a big mess. It is watchable. It's not offensively bad. It is a watchable show. It proceeds at a fairly decent pace. It's got some fun parts to it. Obi-Wan does get off world and go have an adventure. There are a few good things in it. There's Obi-Wan. Ewan McGregor does a really good job as Obi-Wan Kenobi, and his down and out grim Obi-Wan is very well done. I wish the other characters were as good as he is. I wish they had done a better job with Leia and with Third Sister. It's too bad that of the Inquisitors that have been introduced, one of them is actually really good. The guy with the hat, who I think is the same character as one of the Inquisitors from Fallen Order, who looks totally different in Fallen Order. I really wish they had done that better. But they didn't. But anyway, the actor that plays that Inquisitor does a really good job. And it's a shame that he's so much better than Third Sister and upstages her in every scene. What the hell, guys? Why can't you write a character better? And maybe casting was off. I don't know. So do better, guys. Hopefully she will become a better character as we go along. She has already started to develop a little nuance in episode 3. But, 3 episodes of 45 minutes each or so, that's already as long as A New Hope. And by the end of A New Hope, audiences came away loving Darth Vader, and he instantly became the most iconic villain of all time. Not so with Reva. Audiences are just barely tolerating her, just counting the seconds until she's gone. And we've had the same amount of time with her as we did with Darth Vader in A New Hope, if not more. So anyway, that's what's going on in episode 3. We finally get Obi-Wan and Darth Vader confronting each other. It's, first of all, it's on the most boring world that's ever been in Star Wars. I mean, really, what the hell, guys? Star Wars is a fairy tale. It's an epic fantasy with over-the-top characters and over-the-top fairy tale-like settings. Buck Rogers or Flash Gordon, cartoonish, over-the-top settings. Cloud City, the Death Star, Tatooine, the most desolate place in the world. Those are the settings for Star Wars. And instead, we get Obi-Wan and Darth Vader confronting each other on the most boring planet in Star Wars history. It's supposed to be a mining planet, so it could have looked really cool and industrial and atmospheric. They had the Kessel mines in the Han Solo movie, which was a pretty meh movie, but they did an okay job at making the mines and the mine planet interesting. They did not do that with this new TV show. The mine planet that they confront each other on is just scrub grass and boring hills. You don't get to see any of the installations or the mines. There's just a couple of stormtroopers, like 4 stormtroopers running around. It's really, really boring and lame and undercooked. I don't know what the hell is going on with Disney and Disney Star Wars. Everything is low tech and boring, and there's like a gray filter on everything. I don't know why it has to be so boring looking. And everything is just so boring and drab and plain. Anyway, yeah, guys, you need to hire some better writers. I'm available. I'm a writer. I love Star Wars. Get me out there. I'll hook you up. So anyway, again, it's watchable. It's not offensively bad like Boba Fett. Boba Fett was just terrible. It had a few good bits in there, and it was more colorful than Obi-Wan Kenobi in some ways. So they got a few things right, but then it was overly colorful, like with the biker gang that really belonged on Coruscant, not Tatooine. It didn't make any sense for them to be on Tatooine. That was stupid. And the whole characterization of Boba Fett was horrible, turning him into a grumpy old man that is weak and not badass. Anyway, I'm not going to go on a rant about Boba Fett. I almost did a review for it because it actually had a raging Rancor in the show, and raging Rancor. But I wasn't motivated to do a review on Boba Fett. Anyway, those are my comments on Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi at the moment. It's a watchable, meh kind of show with some weak characterizations, but Obi-Wan is very Obi-Wan-ish, and he's leading into the Obi-Wan of A New Hope, and he's finally off of Tatooine and having adventures, even if he's on the most boring world in Star Wars history at the moment, and just had the lamest confrontation with Darth Vader possible. I mean, seriously, Darth Vader couldn't walk around that fire, just a few feet to continue the hunt for Obi-Wan. I'm not buying that. Anyway, what are your thoughts on the show so far? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, please give this video a big thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. Like, subscribe, and if you do subscribe, please hit the bell next to it to be notified of future videos. And of course, share on social media. I'm trying to reinvigorate this channel, and I'd love your help. And comment below. Let me know what you think. Until next time, Raging Rancor out.